So today I'm going to show you how to do a voodoo look for Halloween. First, I'm going to just be applying foundation just to act as a base for all the other makeup I'm going to be applying on my face. You do not have to do this step. I just like to because I do have a little bit of pink on my cheeks, so I'm just trying to even everything out. And then I am going in with concealer a little bit lighter than what I normally would. I want to look kind of washed out and dead, I guess you can say. So here I'm just taking a Coastal Scents concealer palette, the lightest shade, and I'm just dragging it all the way down in a triangle shape. And then just for a little bit more of an actual skin tone color in there, I'm going in with the Maybelline, I think it's called Dark Eye Eraser, something like that. And this is in a really light shade as well, but I'm just going over that concealer that I used before. And then I'm just taking the Real Techniques complexion sponge and just blending everything out as best as I can. But once again, I am trying to look really washed out. So if that's how it looks, then that's great because that's exactly what I was going for. And then I'm just going to set it with some translucent powder and then brush everything away. So for the eyes, I'm going to go with a black smoky eye. Looking at the clips, I wish I would have spent a little bit more time on this and maybe did it just a little bit neater, but I guess it's okay because it is supposed to be a dead look, I guess. But if I were to wear this for Halloween, I would concentrate on my eye makeup and make it look really pretty, as well as, you know, my eyebrows. I did have some product in here, but I just wish I spent a little bit more time on it, but oh well, can't do anything now. But here, and then here, to have a more open-eyed doll type look, I'm just going in with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk and lining my waterline. And now I'm going to be doing little stitches on my eye. I'm just going in with e.l.f.'s cream liner in black and just doing little diagonal lines going down my eye, going in an X shape. Obviously, that's just what I'm going to be doing right here. Now I'm moving on to the mouth, and all I'm doing is just taking my brush with that same cream liner and just dragging kind of like a squiggly line out towards my ear. And after that, I'm just going to be taking the product and just brushing it downwards because I want it to do a gradient effect from black, like as dark as I can, and then to kind of like grayish, and then my skin. So this step, it's just going to be me going back and forth with the product, and then I go in with a different brush that's kind of horizontal, and I just brush downwards, and then I go in with a blending brush and just brush it downwards. So you can see it in the clips, obviously, but this is just what I focus this on the most at this time. And then all I'm doing here is just taking the black eyeshadow and running it on the inner part of my lips just to appear more dead-like. Now I'm moving on to the stitches of the mouth, or you know, the mouth area. All I'm doing is just creating lines horizontally, vertically, diagonally, however you'd like. I'm just going to be doing this on the sides of both faces first. In here, all I'm doing is taking the opposite end of the brush and just dipping it in that cream liner and just applying little dots on both ends of the lines, just to help with the illusion of them being stitches. And like I said, just at first on the other side I used the brush end, but it's a lot easier if you just use that end because it's already going to create a nice little circle. And then taking a different brush, I'm just going back in with that NYX Jumbo Pencil and Milk and just dotting the black circle with the white. Still making sure that the black is visible, but I just thought this gave it more of like a 3D effect. I don't know, I just like the way it looked. This is obviously optional, but I just like the way it looked. And then now I'm going to, this is, you don't have to do this part, once again it's optional. I'm just putting foundation just to create a base. And all I'm doing on my neck is just creating 3 or 4 big X's. This is going to act like my neck was cut and it is stitched back together. So just 3 or 4 X's will do the trick right here for now. Now I'm going to create the cut on the neck, so I'm just taking the black gel liner and just evenly, well, not evenly, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just drawing a line between those X's. And then like I did around the stitching of the mouth, I'm going to drag the black downwards. Again, I'm trying to go for a gradient effect, but instead of just black and black eyeshadow, I will also be going in with some red eyeshadow. So that's what I'm going to start off with doing, is just applying some red right at that base of the line, just so it looks more like blood. And then again, I'll just be going downwards and gradually just making it go from dark to light. This is probably the funnest part for me. So here I'm taking Ciate London Liquid Velvet in VooDoo and Diva, and I'm going to be creating the heart. So what I did was I just applied both of the liquid lipsticks on a tray, and I'm just using a round brush. It's dense, it's really, you know, it's not loose, so it's easier to create the shape that I want. So I just created the shape, and then I will go back in with some more product and start filling it in. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of difficult, you know, looking in a mirror and doing it down on you. It's not in front of you, but just do the best you can. And then I'm going to go in with some black eyeshadow now and kind of line around the heart. Again, I'm trying to make it look more dimensional instead of just lying flat. So I'm just going to outline it with black and kind of shade it inwards. Again, a main priority in this look is to have it, you know, go from dark to light. So that's what I'm really focusing on with this heart. I want it to look as dark and I guess dead as you can. So just play around with it. I had no idea I was going to do this. I was just adding a whole bunch of stuff. So I think the more you play around with it, it's going to look more real, or 3D, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I'm just doing that, and on both sides I'm just dragging all the product towards the inner part of the heart. And then here I'm just taking that white jumbo pencil and just dabbing it on top just to, I don't know, add a little bit more to it, I guess. Here I'm creating a needle that will be going directly into the heart, and this was a little bit difficult for me, but I love the way it turned out. All I did was just take a NYC liquid liner and just, you know, create a line. I tried a line, but it ended up being really thick, but that's okay. I just did that, and then going back in with the liquid velvets, I'm just dabbing it to be kind of the ball of the needle. And then I did not film myself doing this, but I do go back in and shade, kind of make a shadow underneath it, and it looks really cool. But here I'm just going in with some white. But like I said, I think it would be really cool if you tried to create the shadow of it, just so it looks like it's, you know, actually sticking into the heart instead of just lying flat on your chest, if you get what I mean there. And here I'm going to create more stitching, but it's going to look as if these stitches broke. I am not very good at drawing. This just, you know, popped in my head, so I tried my best here, but all I did was just kind of create a leaf shape with the black liner and just making it as dark as I can. And for like the 50th time, I'm going to go back in with that brush that I was talking about before. It's a horizontal brush, and I'm just going to drag the product inwards just to get that gradient effect. And then going back in with those liquid velvets, I will be filling in the wound as best as I can. Now I'm going to be creating more stitches, and again just drawing lines all over the wound, and then I'm going to also be doing the same steps where I applied the little black dots on each end as well as the white directly in the middle of it. And then just applying some of that jumbo pencil and milk right over the wound as well. And then this next step, what I used was food color, you know, food dye, whatever, red, and then I actually used some conditioner. Obviously, you know, the food coloring is going to dye your skin just a little bit, but honestly, it was really easy for me to take off. With the makeup wipe, it got off the actual product, but obviously there was still a little bit of staining left on my body, but honestly, just getting in the shower was able to take it off. You could even just use soap, you know, on your neck, but I just cool. But again, you don't have to use this. I didn't have fake blood, so I just, you know, used whatever I had. And I will be using whatever's left on that brush from the liquid velvets and just applying it around my eye, just to act like my eyes are, I guess, bleeding. And then just, you know, using my fingers wherever I can. I'm also just using VooDoo on my lips just because it's a very dark color. I liked it for my lips. And also make sure, please don't forget this step, make sure you set your face with a setting spray, otherwise your makeup is just going to be all over the place. So just set it with whatever you have. Here I'm using the Wet n Wild setting spray, and it worked just fine, although I wasn't wearing it all day. I literally just took it off after this, but any setting spray would work. So this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is for my friend Chessie. I hope you have fun and this is easy for you to create. And if you have any other ideas for me to film for Halloween, please let me know. I will try and get them out as soon as I can. But other than that, thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.